Alright, here we've got a good look at the ignition harness in the under dash area of the steering column. For the sake of making things clear, I'd like to, I've actually unplugged the ignition switch as well as the secure lock connector, which secure lock connector goes into this, the black ring on the front of the ignition switch there. The connector for the ignition wire itself actually plugs into the back. You can see over here. Also, there are on both of these harnesses there are a couple of clips which retain them. I've pulled those clips out, pulled them out of their retaining locations so that I can access the wires a little bit better. It's much easier to solder them down here than way up under. Okay, now we've actually found all our wires. I'm going to show. You can actually see here. This is the smart junction box. Found the the ignition, accessory, key sense, starter wires we're going to use up in this connector from ignition switch. Secure lock wires again are up here on the dash, and down at the smart junction box in this brown connector to the right here we've got brakes, light green, parking lights. That's the positive parking lights for any of the technical people. This is the actual multiplex unlock wire from the switch. I'll explain more on that in a second. This is the unlock from the key cylinder in the door, and this is the lock from the key cylinder. Now what I'm going to do here is this wire here, the unlock, it does disarm the alarm on the first pulse, but it takes a second pulse to unlock all the doors, which this remote starter that I'm putting in, it does have keyless entry. It does not have the capability of automatically sending out 2 pulses for unlock. So what's convenient is this the unlock wire from the switch is a straight negative trigger. Direct to ground will unlock the doors, and 1,000 ohms to ground will lock them. So I'm not going to worry about the 1,000 ohms, which would require a resistor and probably a relay to get that to work properly. Using this, if I wanted to use this wire to lock the doors, but since we have the handy key sense wire, or not key sense, or the key switch in the door wire for lock that will lock the doors and arm the factory alarm, I'm going to use that to lock. If we zoom in on the other side, I'll try to get this without going over there, but you can see the tan and black wire that's pushed to the side. That's actually going to be our constant power that we're going to use for the whole system. And also, we'll go under here, look in there a little bit. You can see where there's the cable from the hood latch. The hood latch is down here on the low on the driver's side, and it's got a cable that goes through the firewall there, and then there's a nice rubber grommet there, which is actually handy because we've got a couple wires that are going to go under the hood for the tachometer sense and the hood pin. In this case, this is actually a coat hanger, which I usually use for this. It's run through there. I tape the wires to the end here, and then pull them through the other side, and then we've got it really makes getting through the firewall. So over here, we've got the 3 ignition coils. These are going to be an easy source for the tachometer sense, since we can just do, the remote starter will be happy with a single cylinder every time any one of these plugs fires. It doesn't have to be anyone in particular, but as long as the remote starter is sensing that spark plug is firing at the programmed rate, it will it stops cranking as soon as it sees that, and it continues to run without cranking until it either sees the car stalls, or if it over revs, it'll do that as well. Alright, now I've done what's called bench prepping this item. I don't actually have a bench here, I just did this on the ground, but what I've done is taken the remote starter control module, which is right here, as well as the immobilizer bypass, which is right there, and wired them together, and take the wiring harnesses up so they're nice and neat. We're not going to have a rat's nest under the dash. What I like to do is group the wiring harnesses I group the wires by where they're going to connect to on the vehicle, so that way you've got handy locations. It helps a lot when you're hooking it up, and makes for a nice neat install. What you can see here, these are the 2 fuses for the power wire. They are going to go on the passenger side of the center of the console. These wires here are for the ignition harness. And these are for the immobilizer, for the secure lock. They're going to go to that green connector right there. The ignition harness is the black connector. This here is for the tachometer and the hood pin. They're going to go actually through the firewall and under the hood. And the remaining wires, we've got 2 switches here. One is for the this is the programming switch on the left, and this is the kill switch for the remote start. If it's turned off, you can see really faint. Let's see if we can look in and see if it's marked on and off. You can't really tell too well with this picture and with the lighting, but on that just enables or disables the remote start in case there's some situation where you wanted to do that. Last, we've got these 5 wires. We've got ground lights, factory alarm, disarm, and the door locks. They are going to go all on the driver's side of the center console. So we're going to go ahead, zip tie I'm going to pause the camera, zip tie the brain in place, and run the wires.